What's up, y'all? My name's Pat, and welcome back to the channel. I made a video a while back on why you should buy land in Texas. And quite frankly, I didn't think that video was going to do as well as it did. I was pleasantly surprised. So I am back to get the content rolling again. This time, telling y'all three important things that you should be looking for when it comes to buying land. And the first thing we're going to talk about is zoning. Zoning, y'all, can make or break a property, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. So I kind of wanted to walk through this with y'all. When you're looking at buying land, there's a few things that can make or break a property. If you're buying land, there's a good chance that you're wanting to use it to homestead it. You know, if you're buying 5 acres, a couple acres, 1 acre, whatever, there's a good chance that you're gonna want to, cows, some chickens, all that good stuff. Shoot some dove maybe during hunting season, right? Or just shoot some guns for recreation, burn trash, all those things. To be able to do them legally requires for that property to be zoned a certain way. So that's a big deal breaker. Some people don't think about when they're buying a property. They might buy something on the outskirts of town, thinking they're good on a couple acres. More often than not, it's after they move into the place, they realize that they're still inside the city limits and they can't do any of those things. What a tease, right? Like, you get the land, you get all that good stuff, you put all that money down, then you find out you can't even burn trash. God bless. So I don't want any of that to happen to y'all. So let's walk through a property right here. We're going to go and search up Texas on realtor.com. I like realtor.com. I like how they run their website. I just do. Let's look at land first. We'll go to property type, land, and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about here. All right, so Cleburne. I know about Cleburne. Let's check out this place. 50,000 smackaroos in San Benito, Texas. I feel like there's a San Benito, California. I try not to think about California too much, but maybe San Bernardino, California, something like that. I don't know. All right, so 50 acres. I'm sorry, $50,000 for 5 acres in San Benito, Texas. What we're gonna do here is go to property details, and you're gonna hit right here, see more, and then we're gonna scroll down to other property info. This is a good way to get a good inclination, a good idea how this property is zoned. Sometimes it'll straight up say it like this: zoning A-R. That means agricultural. So you're gonna be able to bring your cows, chickens, all that good stuff. You're gonna be good there. So that lets you know, because pictures just don't do it enough justice sometimes. You can see a place like this where it looks like it's out in the sticks, and like town could be like right here where this town is, where this house is. So you have to be very careful. And honestly, y'all, the best thing to do is to immediately go down and try to find more info on the property, because you don't want to fall in love with the place, right? Like, you look at this place right here, you might fall in love with it. You're telling your husband, hey babe, look at this place. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. We can put a chicken some chickens right here. We can put a cow right here. We can cross fence it and all this good stuff. We can have a greenhouse on this side. And then you scroll down and find out that none of that is happening. So just a good thing to know. Also, we'll check out another place that has a home on it. So we were looking at raw land before. Let's check out a place that has a home on it, man. Honestly, whatever, it doesn't matter. Shallow Water, Texas, posted 7 minutes ago. Fresh listing. Fresh freaking listing, man. Let's go down here. Property details, see more. Other property info, source property type residential. It gives you a good idea that this property is more than likely in a residential neighborhood, man. To be honest, you can always confirm that by checking with the realtor. There's another way you can check it as well. I'll show that in another video. But you can always confirm that by checking with your realtor, man. Copy and paste the address, send it to your realtor, and hey, can you double check, make sure this property is inside the city limits? You want something that's going to be out in the county, okay, with agriculture zone and something of that nature. That's going to give you a good idea of what you're looking at. So that kind of just gives y'all an idea real quickly on how you can tell the difference before you get your hopes up on a property that you think that you can picture your whole family in. All right, so let's move on to the number 2 thing, the second thing that you should be looking out for when buying land. All right, y'all, the second thing I want to talk about is easement. So once again, an easement is something that can absolutely be a deal breaker on a property. I mean, it really can. So imagine you find a beautiful piece of land. You and your husband, you and your wife, y'all are like, holy cow, baby, yeah, this property looks great. It's outside the city limits. It's looking good. You call your realtor, hey, let's go check this out tomorrow. Y'all roll up to the property, and it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And you put an offer on it that day. And then you get a survey that says that there's an easement. Absolutely heartbreaking. So here's a good illustration of an easement. You have the dominant tenement and the servient tenement. Essentially, all this means is that the dominant tenement is getting the benefit of getting onto your property because maybe it's the only way he can access the road. The servient tenement is essentially taking the L. He's taking the loss because they have to see you drive your 2022 Dodge 1-ton pickup truck every single morning on your property, just putting beautiful tire marks into your lovely Bermuda grass to get out here on the road. I mean, just think about that, y'all. But this is a great example of how easement works. It's heartbreaking. And you have other type of easements. You have utility easements. So utility easements can mean that they need to access a power line that's over here on your property. So they have to also take their 3500 or 4500 pickup truck back over here and work on the utility line. Or I have a better one for y'all. So you buy a piece of land and you want to buy your house, you want to build your house right here. And then you find out there's a pipeline easement. So you can't build right here because the utility folks have to work on your pipeline right here. I mean, there's just so many things you have to be aware of, have to be careful of when it comes to easements, man. So an easement can make or break a property. You have to do your due diligence, do your research, get with your realtor, get with the homeowner, get with everybody, and make sure there's not an easement on this property. But it's because you can have your neighbor driving on your lovely acres over here, or you can have the utility company driving on your land as well. Or you can't even build your house where you want to build it because there's a pipeline. So keep that in mind, y'all. Now let's move on to the third thing you need to look out for when buying land. All right, y'all. The third thing that I want to talk about that you need to know when buying land you need to figure out if that property has internet access. Now, if you're buying land to get off the grid, then you can click off the video right now. I understand it. I respect it. I genuinely do. I genuinely do. But for the majority of folks, want internet. And you need to know if that property has internet or not. I'm telling you right now, satellite internet isn't going to cut it. The best option for a rural property is a peer-to-peer connection where they put a little mini satellite on your roof that shoots a line of sight connection to a tower that's usually out on a major road. That's going to be your best option for internet, that line of sight connection when you're out in the sticks, when you're out in the country. I'm telling y'all right now. Trust me, I live out in the sticks, and that's what I have. Now, I know a couple places where they're doing fiber. It's crazy. I never thought that would happen, but some places out in the sticks where they're doing fiber, but more than likely they're not going to offer that where you're trying to buy land at, but they might offer a service that has a peer-to-peer connection. Do the research that you have to do to find that out, okay? Well, Pat, how do I find out? How do I find out? Okay, look up internet providers in these towns, right? Then obviously you have the address of the place that you're interested in. Call the provider and say, hey, do y'all service this area? Give them the address. Give them the address. And if they say, yeah, we do, but we have to go out to the property and make sure that we're going to be able to reach the tower. Because like with a peer-to-peer line of sight connection, they literally have to make sure there's not any trees obstructing the way and stuff like that. So this is what you need to do if they say that. Get on the horn with your realtor, okay? And explain to your realtor what's going on. So they can communicate to the homeowner that there's going to be an internet provider coming out to their house and seeing if they're able to establish that connection. That's what we need to do. Obviously, I'm talking about worst case scenario, y'all. More than likely, the place that you're looking at, the homeowners are already going to have internet. So they probably already got it hooked up. I'm just saying, you never know. So you want to make sure. And I'll give a good example of this where I'm living at right now in the Great Lone Star State, where I live out now in the country. When I moved out here, there was only satellite internet. There was only satellite internet. So believe me when I'm telling you, that's not what you want in your life. I didn't even get the satellite internet. By the grace, by the almighty grace of God Almighty, the same year I moved out here, they were building a freaking tower on the highway that was going to be able to connect over here to my house. Only by the grace of God. If not, I would have been screwed with satellite internet. So that's the reason why when people give y'all advice, y'all have to understand a lot of times that advice comes from a real place, a deep place, because we had to go through that. And we don't want y'all to go through that. So if you're not wanting to be off the grid, you're wanting to have nice internet service. You do not want satellite internet. I'm telling you right now. As soon as the first trickle of rain, your internet is going to be gone. It's going to be out of there. But with the peer-to-peer connection line of sight, whether it doesn't affect my internet, it can be raining cats and dogs, and I still have great internet. Obviously, it's not as good as fiber, you know what I'm saying? We're out here in the sticks. But it's reliable. It's reliable. It is reliable. 1000%. So keep that in mind, y'all. internet access. So we have zoning, easements, and internet access. Those are three things that y'all need to look out for when it comes to buying land. Not the only three things. There's a lot more things you need to look out for, but those are three big ones. And if you want three more, let me know. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, loved ones. And we're getting the content going back on this channel. It's financial advice every single week. Appreciate the support. Big salute. Talk to y'all soon. God bless.